Hey friends, Logan Clemens here, one of the co-hosts with the Better Events podcast. And I know we said we were taking a break for the holidays before we officially start season 4. So this is not the start of season 4, but Mary and I just couldn't wait because we have something big happening tomorrow. Mary, you want to cue our listeners in case they haven't heard about what's happening tomorrow, December 20th?
Tomorrow, on December 20th, we have the first ever Better Events Conference. And certainly not the last, but tomorrow is a day that we've been working hard for. We've been talking about it. If you haven't heard about it by now you know. And if you have, you're probably like, I never want to hear about this again. You talk about it too much, but we're so excited for what's coming tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we always talk about the podcast can be a really lonely endeavor sometimes, where it's just Mary and I, with our microphones talking in our offices, and we get emails from you guys all the time. And so this is just, yeah, I'm just excited that we're offering something that is going to bring everyone together. It is virtual. And yes, listeners, we've heard a couple of you say that you want it to be in person. So that's not off the table for future Better Events conferences. But as we've talked here on the podcast, sometimes it's a little easier logistically to start an event virtually and figure out kind of our audience and all of that stuff. So that's kind of what's coming tomorrow. And I feel like, Mary, do we want to share what we're like most excited about for tomorrow?
Yes, let's do it. You want to kick us off?
Okay, this one was tough, listeners. I feel like this is like asking to pick your favorite child as a parent and you have multiple children. And it just feels wrong to say that there's one thing that you're the most excited for. But I feel like I'm going to have to, if I had to pick, Mary, right? I have to pick.
You
I
have
can't be
to.
neutral here.
One thing.
The one thing that I'm the most excited for, I feel like is going to have to be the overworked and underpaid panel that we have tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Mainly because I feel like I came up with this title right when we first started thinking about the podcast as like, this is a session we have to talk about, pricing strategies and just kind of our own evolutions as planners of where we've started and, where we are now and where we want to be and just how helpful that is for a planner who's either in-house or even independent, especially if you're independent. So that discussion that's going to be with Nancy Spooner and Vanessa Loney, two friends of the podcast. Vanessa's been on our podcast multiple times, that I just think it's going to give such a good range of opinions and ideas so that you're going to be even more financially prepared going into the new year. And it's so topical. Time at end of the year is a great time to revisit some of your rates and your pricing and all of that stuff. So I feel like that's just going to be a really meaty panel discussion. Mary, what about you? What are you the most excited for? I can't wait to hear your answer.
I like the meat too, the meaty discussions. Mine is one that is also a panel discussion. We do have other types of discussions, but I'm excited about this one in particular. The overcoming challenges and events in 2024 is the topic. And I think what really gets me excited about this one is the individuals that we have speaking and what they're representing. So we have an in-house planner, an agency planner, and an independent planner. That's Shenandoah, Morgan, and DC. And I'm really excited to learn from them in each of their different perspectives. We all do events, but how you're going about the events and the organizations that you are working in, I think does differ. So it's a moment that we can all learn from each other, but also I think see how we have so much in common when it comes to the event process. And so I'm really excited personally to learn from this conversation.
Yeah, oh gosh. Yeah, two very meaty panel discussions, and I feel like they've been kind of cornerstones for us, right, Mary, as we've been planning.
Yeah.
And I feel like we should still shout out that there are a bunch of other sessions that are going to be more of a round table feature. And so, listeners, one of the cool parts about this conference is we did partner with SwapCard to offer it on their platform. And so, for all of our roundtable discussions, which we've been comparing to like a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting, is going to be in SwapCard's native round table feature, but just expect to be on screen and being able to unmute and share your opinion or ask your questions live. A lot of those roundtables are going to feature experts on the different topics from event marketing, sponsorship, CEO day, and they're going to just have an opportunity where you can, like, if you attend with us tomorrow, as we are eagerly going to be asking questions of our experts as well, you would be able to ask them get real answers on some of your pain points that you have coming into the new year. And so just being ready to know that this is going to be a very active experience tomorrow. Both Mary and I are, if we're not in the session, we're going to be actively participating as well.
Yeah, definitely. We're excited to see you all there in more of a live setting. And so we so appreciate you listening. We appreciate you supporting the conference. And Logan, if someone is hearing this and they're like, wait, I haven't signed up and I want to go to the conference tomorrow, what can they do?
Oh, well, they can visit bettereventspod.com/conference or the show notes on this episode to purchase a ticket because, yes, there is still time to join us, folks. If you have not bought a ticket yet, if you can't hear it in Mary and my voice, we are so excited about this conference. It has been a labor of love to put on something for ourselves, which has been such a cool. Again, we're going to do a recap for next year about this whole process. We've kind of teased it and done a couple episodes teasing that process so far. But I hope you can join us. Please do. Even if you can't join us live, again, the benefit is really going to come from those of us who can log on tomorrow and be with us and be interactive. But I will say about what would we say, Mary? 70% of the sessions are going to be recorded for replay later. So
Yeah.
if you can't join us live, I know my mother, Stacy, purchased the ticket. Good job, Mom. But she can't join us live, and she is going to watch the recordings. So you can be like Stacy and buy a ticket and watch it later. Like we said, I think on one of our other did we mention it yet, Mary, that it's going to be a podcast as well?
We
I
mentioned
don't
it
think so.
on some of our other little hints that we've thrown out there, but not today. We haven't mentioned it. It's going to be a podcast. So
Woo!
ample opportunity to re listen to this content if you attend and buy a ticket.
Yes. So please join us. We can't wait to have you and see you. And those of you who already bought tickets, get excited. We've got these meaty panels that we're talking about, but we're starting off early tomorrow morning Pacific Coast time, 7 a.m. Mary and I are going to be on jamming to the tunes from DJ Heat, who is an NBA DJ, ladies and gentlemen, like for our Washington Capitals. So if you're joining us from DC, you might recognize her, the other Washington than the one that Mary and I are in. But we're going to be there getting ready, maybe wearing nice tops and sweatpants, but we'll be
Or
ready.
matching shirts. You'll have to come to see. See and
Oh my
find
gosh,
out.
Mary. Don't reveal our fun outfits yet. Hope to see you there, guys.